We're going to start putting a single crochet in every hole. After your last stitch, loosen up your loop. Go back to your first single crochet loop. Come in from the back of your project. Take your loop, put it over the hook, bring it through to the back. Tighten it up just a little bit. Then we're going to come from the back through the spot where you brought your loop over. And then we're going to go into the V space right there. From the front into the back. And it's going to be underneath that back bump. Take your yarn, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, take your hook out. We're going to reposition it in the front, and then pull this back loop through the front loop. Now we're going to do single crochets for row 1. We're going to go into the back loop only. So we're not going in here. We're not doing that. We're going into the back loop only and the back bump. So put your hook under that back bump. Complete your single crochet. I had to connect my yarn right there because it had where they had sewed 2 pieces together. We're going to continue that all the way around. Go through your back loop. Through your back bump. And complete your single crochet. One in every stitch all the way around. Okay, I've got 1 stitch left. Okay. Now we're going to pull sides up. So just like we did on the other row, we're going to lift our loop and make it loose. We're going to come in from behind. Pull your loop over and go through the back. Take your loop out. We're going to go right under this loop that we came across with, grab that loop, pull your yarn, go through, and then chain one. And now we're going to start doing our pattern. So if you look at the stitches in the front, you can see where there is a V on each one. So we're going to alternate. The first stitch, every stitch is a single crochet, but it depends on where you insert your hook each time. That makes it different. So for the first one, we're going to go through those little legs, the little V legs in the front of that single crochet. This is not a front post. If you do a front post stitch, it goes all the way through the whole thing, but we're only going to go through the little V's in the front. So there should be 2 loops on there. And then complete your single crochet just like you normally would. And then the next stitch is going to be a regular single crochet. So we're going to go into the next stitch and complete that like a regular single crochet, and then alternating. So now we're going to go back and do our front V loops. So put your hook under both of those loops and complete your single crochet. And then back to a regular crochet. And you alternate and continue to do that all the way around the row. Continue that all the way around. Make sure that after you do your regular single crochet, you're skipping this one and going in the next one. So this one is your going through the front loops, and then this is your regular one, going through the front loops, regular one, all the way around. Okay, I have completed that row. Okay, when you get to the end of the row, loosen your loop and then come to the back of that first loop. Bring your loop over. Pull through. Take your hook out. And then you want to come over to the loop that is on the right side of that last column that you did, the column where you did your through the front V stitches. So go into that. Go back through that loop. Yarn over and pull through. And then chain one. And now we're going to do the same thing. So in between, we're just going to call these a column. In between the columns, you have your single crochet. You can see those V's there. We're going to do the same thing that we did in the other row. We're going to put stitches in there and then stitches in the top. So the first one is going to be a little bit difficult to see because it's kind of hidden. But get your hook down in there and go between those two. And then right on top of the column is where your regular single crochet will go. And continue to do that for the whole row. Go through your front loops. And you continue that for your whole project. Every row is done the same way. So when you go around and you come back over here and you do your little column stitch right here, and then you're going to hook onto here, make sure that when you come back through the other side, you do like we did here, where you go on the side of the column to connect each row. And that's all there is to it. You just keep doing, alternating those stitches for every row until you get to the end. This is going to be my last row. So because this is my last row, I'm not going to do a chain 1 here. I'm going to do a slip stitch around the edge. I still have quite a bit of yarn left. You can use the whole thing if you want to make a big tall basket, or if you're using a bigger round basket, it will take more. I'm about 4 inches. To do a slip stitch around the top, I'm going to go into the back loop only and do this a little bit loose. Don't pull tight on any of the stitches that you do. Just kind of keep the yarn loose. And I'm going to keep doing that all the way around. Now I'm going to pull up my loop, cut, put your hook through both loops, bring your yarn over, go through, and then you can weave in your tail.